Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be reacting to the Taylor Swift Folklore album. I personally think this is the best album Taylor Swift has ever written, and that's saying a lot because I am a diehard Swiftie. I think this is the best album she's ever written because it is so emotional, dark, deep. Every song tells this incredibly detailed, picturesque story, and this album makes me cry like every time. I cannot listen to this album without crying, and so I think it's amazing and it's doing its job, and I wanted to wait until I had enough time to really listen to all of the songs multiple times before I got on YouTube and reacted to it. So this is the album that I chose. I did the Betty album, and I absolutely love the cover art. I love the indie, more alternative feel to the record. And so I'm not going to be ranking the songs because I think they're all amazing, but I am going to be reacting and giving you guys my opinion on each song. If you would like to see my previous Taylor Swift reaction videos, they will be linked in cards throughout this video. But without any further ado, let's just dive right in. So the first song on the album is appropriately named The One, and before the album came out, I thought this was going to be like a love story, very much in the tradition of Taylor's Fearless album, but you will find that The One is very dark and ominous, and it kind of sets the tone for the entire album. I love how raw this song is, how simple it is. And my favorite line from this song is, "But we were something, don't you think so? Roaring 20s, tossing pennies in the pool. And if my wishes came true, it would have been you." And if you're ever in a relationship and you really want to be with the other person, I think you can definitely relate to that lyric. The second song is the lead single from the album, and that's Cardigan. And that's actually one of my least favorite songs on the album. It's good, but it's definitely like the showier radio song. But again, the imagery in this song is so good when she says, "But I knew you dancing in your Levi's, drunk under a street light." Like, I can definitely just really picture that and kind of feel it. I also love whenever she says, "When you were young, they assume you know nothing." And the whole album, I get this sort of vibe that Joe Alwyn cheated on Taylor, but that's never been confirmed or anything. But that's just kind of what this song and some of the other songs on the album lead me to believe. The next song is definitely in my top 3 favorites, and that is The Last Great American Dynasty. This song to me is very reminiscent of Starlight off Red. It's kind of Taylor telling this eloquent history and putting herself into it. This is about her house on Rhode Island that she purchased, and I love the story to it. I don't know how much of it is true, but it's really intriguing to me. And again, on this album, I can't really pick like a distinct favorite song, which is why I think this album is so good. Like on the Lover album, I could easily say my favorite song is London Boy. On Reputation, I can easily say it's This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. But on this album, I don't know what my favorite song is, but I definitely know this is in my top 3. And as soon as I heard this song, I knew I loved it. I think this song could only be improved if she had more of the band in it, and I think if she did that, it would sound kind of like Holy Ground. The next song is Exile, and that song is probably another one of my lesser favorites, but it's definitely growing on me, and it's just a really sad song, so like, don't listen to this song alone and drink wine. Don't be like me, don't make those mistakes because you will get really sad really quick. But I love this imagery that she has about sort of defending your homeland, and once you broke up, you know, you thought you would do everything to kind of defend the crown, but when you break up, it's like, it's all over. In like 5 minutes, you know, you destroyed everything we ever fought for. My Tears Ricochet, that is actually my least favorite song on the album. I do like the latter half of the album more than the beginning half, and I've noticed the last couple of Taylor's albums have been like that for me. But the imagery is really good in My Tears Ricochet. Again, this is why I think this album is so good, because of how great the imagery is. And I love the line, "I didn't have it in myself to go with grace." I think that's how I would be, like, if I ever broke up with my current boyfriend. I would probably not go down very easily just because I felt so many things and I'm such an emotional person. So I feel like Taylor really gets me with that line right there. But I like how she kind of compares this relationship to a funeral. The next song is Mirrorball, and Taylor collaborated again with Jack Antonoff on this song. I love Mirrorball. I kind of think this is about the coronavirus and like the world shutting down. I cry like every time Taylor sings. "I'm still on that tightrope. I'm still trying everything to get you laughing at me. I'm still a believer, but I don't know why. I've never been a natural. All I do is try, try, try." That line gets me every single time. The next song is Seven, and this is also one of my favorite songs on the album. I absolutely love the imagery. 7 is a very religious number, so I can definitely see how this song ties to the title Folklore. There are 7 days in a week. Abraham had 7 sons, so it's a very biblical number. And I love how she pulled that in there. And this song is just so fun. It's reminiscent of old Taylor. I really love the story that she created in this song, and I love how there really isn't a chorus and she kind of changes it up every single time. August, I absolutely adore this song. My birthday month is August, and I think it's just the perfect encapsulation of a summer relationship that you never want to come to an end. My favorite line is, "But I can see us lost in the memory. August slipped away into a moment of time because it was never mine. And I can see us twisted in bed sheets. August sipped away like a bottle of wine." That is so clever, and I love that. This Is Me Trying is also another dark and twisty song, but I love it. I love the beat to this song. I love the words, and it kind of reminds me of The Moment I Knew from the Red album. Then we have Illicit Affairs. A lot of these are collaborations with Jack Antonoff, which I didn't realize, but I love Jack Antonoff on his own and with Taylor, so that's probably another reason why I really like this album. Illicit Affairs is a good one. It's not really in my top or my lower rated. It's very interesting how Taylor keeps playing with this imagery of cheating in a lot of these songs. Invisible String, definitely in my top 3. I absolutely love the way she sings this song. I love the rhythm to it. My favorite part is when she sings "Gives Me the Blues" and then "Purple Pink Skies." I love how she sings that and how she does that phrasing. And again, this is another one of those songs where she doesn't really have a chorus. She kind of changes it up, and I think it's interesting about the line with the lakes and then the bonus track about the lakes. Then we have Mad Woman, which is a crazy different alter ego of Taylor. I love how she plays with this idea of one loves a mad woman, but it's the guy's fault. I think that's such a badass Taylor move, and let's face it, like, that's why we love Taylor, because she's like that. We love that about her. She is a lady boss. And this song, the imagery in it kind of reminds me of I Did Something Bad from Reputation. We have Epiphany, which I also think is about the coronavirus pandemic, because she's kind of talking about first fighting a war, fighting a battle, then she's talking about someone dying in a hospital, but you know, you're slipping away into this stream where everything is better, kind of having hope, maybe an afterlife image. So I think this song is really beautiful, subtle, and it definitely serves its place on the album. Next up is Betty, another one of my favorites. Now, in my opinion, I think this song is about 2 women having a romantic relationship with each other. The narrator really doesn't have a gender, but for some reason, I think it's a woman, and I think some other people do too online, although Taylor said otherwise. But that's how I'm going to interpret the song, and I love it more for that. I love how she alludes to a cardigan in this song. And I love how Taylor's so like angsty, like using the F word, and it just really brings another emotional level to the music. I also love how she's kind of country and more folksy in this song. And I love when she says, "You heard the rumors from Inez, you can't believe a word she says most times, but this time it was true." Definitely one of my favorites, and it never gets old every time I listen to it. Peace is a great one. I love the sound of this. Again, I love the phrasing that she does, especially in the first verse. I love that. I love the part where she sings, but I'm a fire and I'll keep your brittle heart warm. If your cascade ocean waves blues come. That's such a pretty line filled with meaning. I kind of think this song is about, again, her quest for a real relationship, but kind of being chased by the paparazzi and being in the limelight, and how, you know, these people are all coming after her and she can never give her lover the peace maybe that they deserve. We have Hoax, which is one I don't listen to a whole lot. Definitely not one of my favorites, but it is interesting. You know, you can be so smart and so sharp about so many things, but guys will just get you again and again. And it's like the only thing that, you know it's just an illusion, but you keep believing in it. Finally, we have the bonus track, The Lakes, which I don't listen to as much because it's not on my phone, but I really like it. And I agree with the people who say it's about the Kardashians. I think that this whole album is kind of symbolism of Taylor going somewhere, like to the lakes, and writing all of these songs and reaching within herself and finding this deep place. I love the imagery of the poets and her talking about how she doesn't belong. As a writer, I feel like that a lot too. And sometimes I hear the words of Sylvia Plath and Robert Frost and Virginia Woolf, and I think to myself, those are like the only people that get me. And I feel like Taylor is singing about that feeling right here, and I absolutely love it. So this is my reaction to the Taylor Swift Folklore album. It's a fantastic album. If you haven't listened to all the songs, definitely give it a listen. Cardigan and Exile are not the best songs on the album in my opinion. I would say my top 5 favorite songs, since I can't narrow it down to just 1, 2, or 3, my top 5 favorite songs would be The Last Great American Dynasty, 7, August, Invisible String, and Betty. I also give an honorable mention to The One and The Lakes. This album is phenomenal. I hope you guys enjoyed my take on it. Let me know your thoughts. What was your favorite song, least favorite? How does it compare to Taylor's other albums, especially if you are more of a pop fan? Let me know your thoughts below. Please subscribe to this channel. I would love if you became a part of our little family. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.